Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Tamika's coming to you guys with a vlog. For you who don't know me, I am the owner of takoriblendz, a wellness store that includes my natural skincare that I make from scratch. So today I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of trying to, okay, let me be honest. So for you guys who don't know me, I am a mental health therapist full time. So my degree is I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I also have a private practice where I treat individuals for couples therapy, as well as most of my clientele is adults over the age of 21, and I mostly deal with mood disorders. With that being said, that business takes up the majority of my time. And so I also have takoriblendz, which is my second second business. And, it's kind of hard juggling the two, right? And so what I've realized is, I've had a lot going on in my life lately. I've recently lost my mother back in November. And so, that kind of just knocked me off of course. Things were going pretty good, and then business started to decrease. And so I opened takoriblendz in February of 2021, and takoriblendz is my baby. This is my stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? Doing the type of work that I do, I have to find ways to release the stress that I absorb from my clients, right? And so, or shall I say, the emotions that I absorb from my clients. And so, I decided to start takoriblendz because this is actually my third time with bringing my business live. The first time was back, I was a cosmetologist. So I was a cosmetologist first for 15 years out of high school. I went to cosmetology school, became a professional cosmetologist. I did that for 15 years. And during those years, that's when I created my brand. And so I ended up having to close because that is when I decided to go to college. And during my master's program, it was very strenuous. I was in a master's in a year program, so I got my master's in a year. But the work for the master's program was like really strenuous, right? So it took up a lot of my time. And as I talk, I'll be doing some things. I'm trying to, repackage some, just kind of like package up some of my ingredients, meaning get them out the bag and just put them in a container, and just doing some little stuff just to kind of organize. So you'll see me moving around as I talk. But so I my program, it was rather strenuous, and I couldn't do it both. I could not still do hair, take care of my daughter, run my skincare line, and I had a full class load. I had a community service project I had to do. It was just a lot, and I just could not do it all. I just couldn't. And so I had to let something go, and so I ended up letting my takoriblendz go. So, fast forward, finished college, and life, starts, or shall I say my new life started as a social worker, and just kind of working full time, and life going. And so anyway, I back in 2014 I decided to reopen takoriblendz, and everything was going great. At that time I started selling soap. So back when I was a cosmetologist, my skincare line was basically body scrubs, my moisture whips, body oils. I had a hair moisturizer. I had, just like some things for your products for your hands, but it didn't involve soap, right? So in 2014, when I opened up the business, I started, prior to me opening up the business, I started to learn soap making. And, it was just a hobby. It was something that I wanted to do, but it was also because me and my daughter had eczema, which is why I opened the business initially, just really for me and her. I was starting it, just kind of creating some things based off of being inspired by a young lady who made lotions. And I was like, wow, I can't believe that this girl really made a lotion. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get so caught up in the whole system and you just don't think like locally, wow, you make lotion, right? So really inspired by her, but also inspired by the fact that my skin is sensitive as well as my daughter. She had eczema. So during that time, we were using a particular soap that everybody uses, big brand, big box brand. It rhymes with glove. And we were using that soap, but it really was not working for our skin. We wasn't really getting any major benefits from the soap because our skin was dry, especially with my daughter's, with the eczema, it was dry. And, it just wasn't working, right? And so we were feeling tight getting out of the shower, just skin dry. It was making her eczema worse. So I started to learn how to, make soap. So once I learned how to make soap, Lord, that was interesting. Okay, it was interesting. I still have like pictures and stuff from my very first soap that I made. And so basically I learned to perfect the craft, and I opened back up in 2014 and I added soaps to my repertoire, right? And so the business was going great, and I did it from 2014 until let me see, March of 2016. So 2016 came, and when I say these are lavender flowers, they smell so good. They smell so good. So 2016 came, March of 2016 came, and my oldest sister fell sick. And so things got really bad, and my sister ended up passing. And that was the first time, well, not the first time. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but it wasn't the first time that I lost somebody dear to me, because I lost my twin sister when we were born. She lived for like 4 days and then she passed. So I've always lived with like a void in me, almost like a hole in me, or like I'm missing an arm, right? Because she was an identical twin, and so she passed away when we were born. So definitely I understand loss, because I've lived my whole life with that void of my twin not being here. I'm sorry. And so I'm just, I believe in authenticity, and so I'm not gonna cut this out. My videos are raw, the same, and anyway, so I walked around with that void. And then in 2016, my oldest sister passed. And that was really hard to deal with. As you can see, it still hurts. But I definitely feel like, I've dealt with the grieving process when it comes to losing her. So when she passed in April of 2016, I closed the business. I'm sorry. I closed the business because I just, just going through grief, and I just couldn't see my way. It was like when she passed, I lost my creativity. And I've been a creative person my entire life. And I've always had like little side things on the side. Like even when I was a cosmetologist, I made jewelry. I write poetry, and so I used to sell my poetry. And so I've always done something on the side, right? I've always had some kind of like little small business on the side. And when she died, it was like my creativity died with her. And, because my sister would always tell me how proud she is of me. And when she passed, it just shook my world. Like that, I grew up with my oldest sister, and losing her was just like, it was a big blow. It was a big blow, and it was a big loss. And so I closed the business down because I just couldn't do it. And I lost my creativity, and I didn't create at all. Like, that was the first time in my life where I wasn't creating something on the side. By this time, I am, I have my private practice is open, and I am working. I had a full-time job. I had my private practice in the evenings, and that's all I did. I was building my private practice, and then I worked my full-time. And so I closed I closed takoriblendz down because I just couldn't get up the energy to do it. It was like my creativity left with her. And so I didn't create from 2016 up until I opened the business back up in 2021. And so I think I started maybe like September of 2020 is when I started creating my products again and creating stock, trying to build up my stock for my launch. So from April of 2016 up until maybe like September of 2020, I didn't create nothing during that time. I just lost it. So here we are in 2020, and I am, now I'm in my practice full time. And, we have COVID, and COVID started to take a toll on me. I love what I do. I absolutely love being a therapist. But COVID started to take a toll on me, and I didn't have my outlets that I usually had in order to be able to, just kind of release the emotions that I would absorb in my sessions. So my outlets were gone. I'm a people person. I like to get out, go have dinner and hang out with my friends and family and just, do different things. And, COVID started to, was restricting all of that. So I was asking myself, like, okay, you got to find you something that is going to revigorate you again, that is going to give you some joy, right? I was trying to be intentional about seeking my joy. So that's when I was like, well, you know what? And it's crazy too, because throughout that whole process, I had even stopped. Like, I had ran out of the soaps that I had made, and I ended up having to go back to buying soaps. And so I would buy other skincare makers products. Like, I would go and buy natural soaps, and sometimes I would go back to the big box brand because I just may not have sometimes it's just economically it was just better for me at moments. Or if I ran out of the natural soap that I bought from someone, then I had this other soap on hand. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to start back making soaps. But my intention was not to start back to sell. I was just going to start making soaps for here at home. But then, of course, once I started making the soaps, my love for creativity started to come back. And I started getting excited about creating again. And it started to feel good. It literally was bringing me the joy that I was seeking, so that I can kind of balance myself out, being that I absorb, my clients' emotions in my sessions. And so, getting back into making the products, it really has helped me to get to a better place, and I also feel that, you know, recently I lost my mom. And I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm just being honest. I lost my mother. And I lost her in November of 2021. And you know, it's hard. You know, that I lost her in November of 2021, and today is February the, I think the 4th. No, the 5th. I think today is the 5th. And so I'm still going through that grieving process. And that loss is real fresh because it hasn't been a full 3 months just yet. And so when my sister died, I lost my creativity. But being that my mother just passed, I think that if I was not doing this skincare, it probably would be so easy for me to lose myself in like depression. And not to say that I have not experienced depression, because I'm going through an episode of depression right now due to losing my mom. And but I do feel like, because now that I am back making the skincare, and I was making it through the loss, it has helped me to sustain, and it has helped me to just push forward, you know, and it has helped me to not lose myself in this grief, because it's very heavy. And I'm sorry, guys, I didn't know I was gonna come on here and say this. This is my first ever vlog, and I'm just being transparent, and this is just where I am today. And so talking about this, of course, is going to bring up emotions. And so if you could deal with it, stay. And if you can't, you know, please just click off. But I believe in authenticity. So yeah. So, you know, so just losing my mother, it's a different loss than losing my oldest sister. It's a different loss than losing my twin sister. And while trying to let my dad know that my mother passed, we found out that my father had passed as well. And they didn't invite us to the funeral. So that's a whole nother thing. As I'm going, you know, the family is going through the grief of losing our mom and our, you know, our kids' grandmother, and, you know, the rest of the family losing someone so important to us. We, as my mother's children, also found that our father had passed as well in August, and his family did not let us know nor invite us to the funeral. So it's been a lot, right? On top of COVID, on top of, you know, doing the work that I do, just life itself, you know. So I thank takoriblendz, you know, for being in existence during a time when I am struggling, you know, emotionally. And takoriblendz is a way for me to create beautiful products that you guys can benefit from while reconnecting with my roots. You know, my mother was raised on a farm. My grandparents were farmers. And anytime, you know, I'm dealing with, you know, herbs or any kind of natural products, it just reminds me of my roots, right? And so takoriblendz has really helped me to be able to not lose myself totally in the grief. And it's a positive distraction for me, right? So let me drink a little water to get myself together. So I'm thankful that I have this business, and I'm thankful for having it right now, because it's definitely helping me to go through the grieving process. So anywho, so yeah, so it's been a lot. And, you know, I'm just thankful that I have my business, you know, to help me to be able to, you know, work through the loss. So today, you know, over the last couple of weeks, I've just been sitting and kind of, you know, thinking about my business and my skincare business, or my you know, this wellness business. And I was asking myself, like, what's going on? So, I was looking at when I first opened, sales was great. Lunch day was fantastic. First couple of months, business was coming in. It was regular. And, I'm posting on Instagram. I'm trying to do the TikToks and learn that and do all the things. But, hold on, let me grab some tape. So, so business is rolling and it's going. And I, please let me just sidebar, y'all. Sidebar for the skincare makers. Anytime you are putting your products in another container than the container it was in when you purchased it, make sure that you cut out. So this is this. Cut this out and tape it to your container every time you fill it, because this tag has important information on it. You see the lot number. So if you should have any issues with that ingredient, then you know that you can call the company and you can let them know the lot number, and then they can look that up to see if there's been like a string of issues with that product. So I tend to do that, and I'll just tape it right on my container. So yeah, so I was, thinking about the business, and business was going good, and then business started to slow down. I have fantastic reviews. I have my regulars who order all the time, but I'm having a hard time getting the organic crowd in, right? And so I realized that what I realized was that I was handling my business as a hobby. That's what it was. I was handling my business as a hobby. And I had to sit down with myself and like really be honest with myself about how I was going about my business, because the reason why I was handling it as a hobby was because, like I said, life has been tough. And over these last couple of months, my mother fell ill, and literally she got ill, and within 5 days my mom passed. And prior to her getting ill, she had blood disorder that they were watching, but we didn't know that it was something that could take her away. So with that being said, life has been hard, and so I fell off of posting and marketing, basically. And I just fell off. I was like making the products, but I was not doing the behind the scenes stuff I needed to do, which was market, come and, like do my YouTube videos. I would just kind of post pieces here and there. And I just wasn't handling my business as a business, right? So now that I'm starting to really think about my future, and I'm not in my 20s, I'm in my 40s, and I'm just thinking about just my future. My mother has gotten her wings, and I'm just thinking about life, you know what I'm saying, and what I want my life to look like as I move forward. And what does that encompass when it comes to my businesses? And so my therapy practice is doing very well. I am looking to make a couple of changes so that, because right now I'm doing telehealth, and I miss my clients. I miss meeting them face to face. I miss high-fiving them. We're high-fiving through the camera. You know what I'm saying? I miss passing tissues. I miss sitting next to them if they cry. I just miss that. And so I'm going to make some changes. Maybe we can meet like once a month at a park, and maybe we could just walk, do walk therapy. That way, just so we can have some human interaction, because currently I do have some clients who I've never met face to face. And so, I want to be able to meet my clients face to face, and give them that personability that they seek in when we do face-to-face therapy versus the teletherapy. And so Yeah, so I plan to do that once it starts to warm up. So got some changes that I'm going to do on that side, speaking engagements, getting back to the things that I used to do, speaking engagements, trainings, um, and just kind of changing up my practice a little bit so we can get a little bit more face-to-face contact. So what are we going to do with the takoriblendz wellness store? So I was in that space of, and for you guys, if you are a small business owner, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? But I was in that space of, oh my God, what's going on? Why are my sales starting to dry up? Like, I know I have good products. I know I use good ingredients. I know, that I put care and love into making my products. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to sit with myself and be honest with myself about how I was handling my business. And so I realized I was handling it as a hobby, right? It was a hobby. It was a positive distraction for me. It was just, that's how I was treating it. And I wasn't setting up the systems that needed to be set up behind the scenes, right? So what I told myself was, okay, Tamika, it's you got to handle this business as a business, right? I'm continuing to work through the process of grief. I'm utilizing my business as a positive distraction, and I know it's time to get to work. And I know that if my mom was here, I know that if my sisters were here, all of them will tell me, to do what I do best, and that is business. You know what I'm saying? And creating things that bring people joy. That's why I do what I do. That's why I was a cosmetologist. I love making people feel beautiful. I love doing things that enhances a person's life and make them feel good and beautiful and joyful, and every job I've had, whether it was through fast food, which that didn't last long, probably 6 months, because that just was not for me back in the day when I was a teen. I worked at Six Flags, and you know how joyful Six Flags is, and I worked in the games department there. And as a cosmetologist, I started doing that. I started school at 19, and I did that for 15 years. And I absolutely love, even like I said, I talked about my side gigs, which was my little side businesses as a cosmetologist. I used to make jewelry. I used to make my poetry, and I would do like greeting card company. And then I created takoriblendz. And so now what I'm trying to do, so today, I woke up and I'm like, okay, let's hit it. Let's get it. Right. And so what I've done so far today is I have recorded a video so you guys can learn how to utilize the Purge Detox Facial Mask. I recorded a second video, a part 2 to that, introducing the star ingredients in the Purge Detox Facial Mask and explaining what each ingredient, the benefits are. I have started, what else did I do today? I took a couple of pictures of my products as well. I've posted in my story, and I posted a post on Instagram. And now what I'm doing is I purchased a inventory system that I am using to keep up with all of my products, my cost of goods, and just handling my business like a business, right? So I've renewed all of my liability insurance, and I do want to say, I see a lot of new entrepreneurs, a lot of new small business owners creating skincare products, candles, lip glosses, and all these types of things. But please understand that if you do have one of those businesses where you're making products that people are going to use, you do need to have liability insurance, because a lot of new entrepreneurs are out here creating these products and excited about it, but don't have the proper things that you need to make sure your business is a full-fledged business, like your LLC and trademarks and all these types of things. But you also need to have liability insurance. And it's important because if you create something and somebody say that they want to sue or it caused some harm or whatever, how are you going to protect yourself? And so it's important, to handle your business as a business. And when I opened up, I did all of that. Like, I'm not going to open up a business and not handle the back end when it comes to legalities. I don't play about that. I'm not going to create products, sell it, and then I haven't covered myself in the background or haven't done what I need to do when it comes to taxes and insurance and state license and county licenses and all of these things that you need to have. So please make sure that you guys are handling your business accordingly. So I did all of that before I even opened my website, right? So now what I'm doing, I'm putting in my inventory, which is why I'm kind of taking stuff out the bags, putting them in containers, and I am currently like logging. So here so I was putting my inventory excuse me. So I was putting my inventory in here in this system. I use Crafty Base as my inventory system. There are other ones in, I think it's called Inventora, and some other other systems that you can utilize. You can create you a spreadsheet, but I would definitely highly recommend that you get you an inventory system so that you can keep up with your inventory. So in Crafty Base, and let me say, this is not sponsored in any form or fashion. I am new to Crafty Base. I am just now getting this a couple of weeks ago, and so I've been steadily trying to put in my inventory, my products, all of those types of things, so that I can keep up with my inventory and my stock, right? So yeah, so I've been utilizing this inventory system now, and what I'm working to do is just kind of all of my products are loaded in there. Look, I'm acting like this is a touch screen, but my products are already loaded, and I am currently loading my materials in there. And so that's what I'm pretty much trying to work on today. I am working on organizing my products, my ingredients, making sure that I get everything into my inventory system. And then, so I'm going to do that. And then once I finish that, I am going to, I kind of want to make some bath bombs, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to that today. If I don't get to that today, then I'll get to it tomorrow. But I kind of want to create, because my creative flow is back, and I definitely thank God for that. And I thank my mom for that too, because I know she got something to do with that. But my creativity is back, and I'm excited about it. I will be honest, it is a little overwhelming running two businesses, but when you are passionate about about your business, you make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm making it happen. So today, what I'm going to do, if I do make the bath bombs, it'll probably be later today or tomorrow if I decide to do so. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to sit down and I am going to create content. And so I've been taking a lot of pictures of what I realized on my Instagram. So I know this video is getting long, y'all, but I'm gonna wrap it up in just a minute. But I want to redo my Instagram, so it can be aesthetically pleasing, and So I've been taking pictures, and I noticed I've been doing a lot of just different pictures, but I've been trying to take a little bit more live pictures, so to speak. So not like stock image looking where it's just kind of the product with the white background, but kind of just trying to take lifestyle pictures. I think that's what they call it, right? And so I've been doing that. And so later today, I'm going to work and try to create, I want to create like 30 days of content for Instagram and Facebook. And 30 days, y'all, 30 days, that's a lot, because when we talk about 30 days, that's just not 30 pieces of content. I want to post maybe 2 to 3 times a day for 30 days. And I also want to get my systems in order. I want that to be a regular, maybe posting at least twice a day. And I want that to be a regular. So what I'm trying to focus on today is my systems and content creation. Because what I realize is, yes, I have fantastic products, and I really feel that way. You can go on my website, look at my reviews. But I have not been showing up and marketing regularly, right? That know, like, and trust factor. I haven't been doing that. And so my plan is to be consistent with my posting, maybe doing some lives, because if you go through my Instagram, you'll see I have just 1 or 2 videos of me talking about different, mental health topics. I want to put that out more and really like allow my brand to show up the way it shows up in my mind, right? And bring all that to life. That's what I want to do. I already know what I need to do. I just haven't been executing like I need to do, right? So I've sat and I've studied and I've watched other skincare creators. And I just want to say I am really proud of these millennials. Like, you guys are rocking it. Like, y'all are killing it out here. And it's so beautiful to see. You know what I'm saying? Because A, I just want everybody to win. But B, it's just so beautiful to see such young minds be so creative. And, granted, a lot is money chasing for some. But for others, they're much like me. They are creatives. They love creating. They love to see people enjoy something that they've created. They love the field. They love doing the things that bring joy to other people, and, they are authentically in love with their craft, right? And so I'm just so proud of you guys. So please keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, okay? Because what I'm seeing in you guys is that you guys with that little young energy, honey, y'all be 3-4 times posting, doing reels and TikToks and all these things per day. And I'm just like, oh my God. And for a minute I was getting overwhelmed. But then I said to Mikis, well, you're not them and they're not you, and they may have a different audience than the audience you're trying to get. And you also have to understand that that's what they do full time, right? I have a whole nother full-time business over here that I'm running. So I may not have the time to do, to post as much and that type of thing. So I'm just going to stay in my lane and let everybody do what they're doing. And then I'm just going to do what I do. And, I just have to have that patience. And it'll come, it'll come as long as I stay consistent. That's what's most important. So, excuse me, y'all. I don't know where all this mucus is coming from. Excuse me. So that's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to really try to work hard to promote this my business and really get it out there, because I really feel like I have great products. And I know it's a million of us making products, but at the end of the day, it's enough for everybody, and everybody is not for everybody. So I'm looking to find my audience, right? Whether it's here on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, out in the community, wherever, I'm just looking to find my audience, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and end because I know this is a long video, but I hope you guys, you know, got some little tidbits out of here if you're a new entrepreneur. And I hope that if you've recently lost someone, you know, my heart goes out to you. Trust me, I understand and I know what that pain feel like because I'm going through it now. And so definitely keep pushing, keep moving, and don't lose yourself in that sadness. You know, don't lose yourself in that sadness. Death is part of life. And you just have to be, you know, I'm so thankful for the time I had with my mom because everybody didn't have the amount of time I had. I had 48 years with my mom. And I'm so thankful of that. And as I talk with you now, like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to remember all the beautiful things that I learned from my mother and that she instilled in me. I'm looking at ways to honor my mom. And so I've decided to honor her with life. I plan to start me a little garden this spring. I want to make some of the herbs that I utilize in my products. I too take herbs and you know, I want to start growing you know, some food, tomatoes and those types of things. I actually have a avocado seed sitting right here and it has already started to sprout. And so can you see? You see my little root? And yeah, so I'm just letting it sit in this water and until it's I get some more roots on it, and then I am going to transplant it into soil and plant it. So I love avocados. So I'm honoring my mother with life, and I'm going to call it Nellie's Garden, and I'm really excited about that. So yeah, so find a way to honor your loved one, you know, even though they're not here physically, they're with us spiritually, and they're here in our heart. And so my heart goes out to you, and you're going to make it through it. I'm going to make it through it. We're going to make it through it. And we just have to keep a hold of our memories and the lessons and the love that we got from our loved ones. Okay, so all right, you guys, my first vlog, that's it, that's all. And I am out. So if you get a chance, please stop by my website, takoriblendz.com. There will be a link down in the comments. And you know, if there are you guys have any questions, let me know. You know, but I look forward to building up this channel and bringing you guys some behind the scenes of takoriblendz, coming on, talking about some mental health things, and yeah, just carrying you guys along the process with me. All right, till next time, have a blessed one. Talk with you later. Bye.